Oh, son of a... I was muted. Oh, God. That was the muted slap? Alright, hold on. Take two. Son of a man. I can't do it again, can I? I have to. I feel like I'm gonna laugh if I do the wind up now, dude. Uh, I can't do it. Uh, I don't know why I think it's so funny that I was muted before, but alright, hold on. Slap. Oh, Shane, I'm sorry, man. This is the worst slap I've ever done. I hope you're not too dissatisfied. I can't do it though. I can't do it. Oh man. You made the face, that's what counts. Okay, Shane, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that because I was struggling. Actually, let me see. Does this work now? It does work. Okay, cool. So yeah, the updated one, the auto one, it shows you know, to the cent, which I don't really like. I actually prefer if it was just rounded off, but I don't know how to do that, so probably have to manually code something to round it. But either way. Okay. So yeah, what's up everybody? Let me get a tweet out real quick. Dearest at Marvel Champions. Should probably say something like if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, thing doesn't make a noise. So how can we do that for the slap? If a room full of people see you slap someone, but it doesn't make a noise. Wait, how's the rest of that go? Yes, I'm now live. And writing professional tweets is as simple as that, guys. You just let it out. You know what I mean? Maybe we should do those instead. Okay. Tweet, whatever, man. I got time for Twitter shenanigans. We're trying to collect some units for the 4th of July, damn it. Hashtag squeezing skin. Ew, what does that mean? Hobbit, I don't even understand. What does squeezing skin mean? Either way, thank you for the raid, dude. Oh god, I need to restart my computer. Not right now. I'm not gonna do it right now, but my computer is running very slow at the moment, so hopefully we'll still be good for the rest of the stream. But Tom said it over. Buck, Tom, thank you, dude, saying, BG, what is a giant squid's favorite food? Fish and chips. Ugh. Boo. Fish and chips. I almost said something else. I almost said fish and something else that starts with SH. Alright, but the tier 4 basic is on, so actually, let's get this. Let's do this, man. On the low level 5s. Let's do it up. ABG just took out by Void to rank 4. Loving him. Nice. Congrats on the rank up. Void is a beast. One of the best. BG, are you grinding out Red Guardian? Nah, man, just milestones. I didn't really enjoy Red Guardian all that much. If they made a few tweaks to him, I would like him. But as it stands right now, nah. I would like a refund. Easy. Wait, a refund? Okay. No. Oh, no returning slaps. Oh, man. BG, you gonna support the boycotts? Nah, man. This question gets asked all the time. I'm only gonna give the short answer because I've discussed it at length 100 times. And I know, you know, I don't expect everyone to be here every time I say it. But because I don't want to repeat myself over and over again. The short answer is no, I'm not part of the boycott. People could do whatever they want. I'm not for or against it. As long as they give me that same level of respect of allowing me to be for or against it and not give me any problems for just wanting to relax and enjoy a game. BG, why do chicken coops only have 2 doors? Because then they'd be chicken sedans. Ugh. A chicken joke crossed with a car joke. Boo. Did you sleep today, Baldy Man? I did, yeah. It wasn't that much sleep. That was enough. I slept for about 4 hours. A little nap, you know what I mean? Brian, slap, read backwards is... Or read backwards is pals. Hey. My mind is blown, so basically when you slap people, they become your buddies. Exactly, Yuki. Finally, someone unlocked the secrets behind the slap. It's a sign of respect that you're now my pal. It definitely didn't start out that way, but you know what? That's how it's going to be from now on. That is the reason, if anyone asks why I slap people. That's it. How's a free-to-play player boycott anyway? I guess by not logging in or something, but I don't know. BG, is Symbiote Supreme a good champ to rank up? Symbiote Supreme's a great champ to rank up. The reason why I hesitated to say that is because Symbiote Supreme, he's not the type of champion they use in every situation. So he's situationally good. There are a bunch of situations, though. It's not like he's only good for one specific fight or something like that. There's actually a bunch of situations where he's useful. But yeah, when you're looking to rank up Symbiote Supreme, you definitely got to consider all your options. As I would more so recommend ranking him if you just had a need for a Mystic Champion with... what's it called? Not nullification, but staggers, which is basically the same thing. You know what I mean? So, Last Arnie, what's up, dude? Hey, BG, I'm joining the boycott. Officially leaving MCOC. Spent way too much time, money here. Take care, bro. I'll be back within the hour. Wow, dude. That's you know, Last Arnie, you gotta stand up for what you believe in. You know what I mean? So I support that decision. A whole hour, huh? That's gonna be rough. They're gonna feel it. Good morning, BG. Enzo, what's up, dude? Yesterday you said you missed war. We had a super fun time today. Get back here and into BG3. Pete soloed rank 3 flow dorm. Ooh. Whoa. A rank 3. I didn't even realize. Yeah, actually, no, I did realize that dorm was a 6-star, but I didn't realize anybody took him up to rank 3. That's pretty crazy. Not quite yet, Enzo. I'm still hopeful that there's going to be some changes that I'm really wanting to see, that I've been wanting to see for War for a long time. I don't know if they're going to happen, but I feel like unless it happens, then I'm just not going to be reliable. Sometimes I hesitate in joining War in our Loki, where it's like not even as it's nowhere near as crazy, but just thinking like, dang, dude, am I actually going to be reliable today? I don't know. So, I mean, right now it's a little bit easier for me, and right now, yeah, I could join for Loki, but or be reliable at least to you guys. but I feel like that could change soon. So yeah, I don't know. But I'm not saying it's out of the question, Enzo. There may be a day where we play together again. I'm hopeful for it, man, because I do miss it. I actually started recording a war video today. And there was only like one interesting fight, so I ended up just like scrapping it essentially. But I'm probably gonna be trying to take the boss, which is a warlock. So I'll record that, and if it's interesting enough to upload, that I will. If I fail, well, I normally don't mind showing you guys my failures, but I don't want to show a video where that's it. It's not, it's not entertaining if it's like a 60-second video where I just die. So, I like it when those deaths are included with like actual other content as well, you know. But either way, I'm going to try to do that. So see how it goes. Love collecting 5-star shards on Thursday when Arena and SA end. Always the best day of the week. Dude, I always forget about Summoner Advancement. Like, every single week, I just totally forget about it. And then when you get hit with that in-game message, it's like, oh, cool. Some extra shards, nice. Sweet. Yo, guys, I'm in beginner bracket. Have reached 0.6 million for Red Guardian. Just 1 million more to go. Nice, man. Sounds like you're doing great. Keep it up. BG, are you real? What time is it? I don't know if I'm real. Can anyone help me out here? Am I? But right now it's 10:13 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? Shout out to the lurkers. Of course, man. Got lots of love for the lurkers since I usually am one. BG, who do you think is the best champion in the game? Ghost. Hands down. Not even a question. BG, you stream your failures every night, and we love it. I know, but it's failures alongside other things. You know what I mean? If it was like an entire video of failures, I think that's good too. But I don't want to upload just a 60-second clip of one single fail. That's not that interesting. But if I could put together a greatest hits of failures, oh, dude, it'd be sick. It just takes too much effort to do something like that, so yeah. Ooh, love the new graphics, BG. Very cool. Glad you like them, man. By the way, I didn't mention this when we were talking about it, because I did a day stream as well, and talked a little bit about the new cutoff stuff. I tried to make the colors somewhat related. The color part is always so hard to figure out, like, what do I want these colors to be? How do I want these things to look? But I tried to make them somewhat related to the star levels of the champions. So that's why the 3-star is like that silverish. Really, it's like a blue, but it kind of has like a silvery tint to it, kind of thing, you know? The pure silver didn't look good. And then, you know, the 4-star is the little closer to gold, with some extra little flare in there. And the 5-star obviously has that like red and orange kind of look to it. And then the basic, I was thinking about making the 4-star colors the same for the featured and the basic, but it didn't look good when it was the same. I wanted something slightly different, and I figured, hey, basic is usually blue, right? Since you're not getting the full champion, so I just made it a more of a blue. Just in case anyone's curious about the incredibly boring design decisions about coloring numbers. Speaking of hoarding, BG, are you doing a big crystal cleanup when Doom comes on Tuesday? I'll probably do it just before or just after. One of the two. Maybe just before. I'll probably do it before. I think that's the plan. So maybe sometime this weekend. Sit down and pop it all open. Jacob, what are you doing, man? You're spamming. I already answered your question, too. That's not cool, dude. I gotta time you out. But please, if you come back, please don't spam. Especially when it's something I already answered. To you directly. Can Venom or Venom the Duck do the 6.3.1 Medusa boss? I don't know. I don't think it would be good. Wait, does that node have buffet? I think it has buffet, right? So I think it might be a tough time. You could, of course, reduce the healing with Despair, but aside from that, yeah, I don't think they'd be the best for it, but I don't know for sure. I don't know. BG, at least you aren't nerding over Arena Grind? Yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna nerd over one thing or another, right? So, we done pissed Baldy off? Now, I'm not pissed off, just to be clear. I'm not pissed off at all. I'm just saying the spam's not cool. That's all. How to get 5-star shards easily, please, sir. So, shards in this game come from all over the place. You're likely already doing all the things that will earn you shards. But just in case, I'll run through a little list. Story quest, event quest, incursions, alliance war, arena. Duplicating champions of the previous star level. The thing is, this game, you don't just get the highest level rewards right off the bat. You don't just start out pulling in 5-star crystals. You kind of have to work your way up to it. So, you know, you start out getting some 3 stars, and you know, eventually get some 4 stars, and eventually get 5 stars when you get to the higher difficulties of these things. And that's pretty much it. It's just all about getting to that difficulty, or going up in a tier of Alliance War or whatever, just so that you can start getting that stuff. There are occasions where there's like a special event on, where you can more easily get 5 stars, but you know, those are kind of special events. Tweet, por favor, B. Daniels. You got it, man. What do we got? He's not as beefy as your man thing, but he got big quick. Ooh. Dang, dude. He's on the rise. That's good stuff, dude. Congrats on the 455. BG, what do you think about Mole Man? I think he's a swing and a miss. I don't find him to be too good or useful, and yeah. I wish he was better. He's not the worst champion we've ever seen in the game, but I do wish he was better. He feels like, I don't know, just his play style. Like, if you look at his abilities on paper, they seem okay. But then you play the champion, and just the play style feels almost like counterintuitive to what you'd want from a champion, like just the way some of his abilities work. And I just didn't find it enjoyable. Aside from that, his stats aren't the highest either. So if you're gonna jump through a few extra hoops, play slightly different than the average champion and stuff like that, and not get any reward for it, eh. ABG, I bet you must hate peaches and kiwis since they have more hair than you, Baldy. Or that's you, Baldy, or then you, Baldy. Either way, you side with the banana because it is weak and yellow. What? Like a sponge. You are jealous of the kiwis. I see it. Dude, first off, I love kiwis. Peaches, Kiwis, though, are amazing. Problem with kiwis is I feel like... I mean, Corey, of course I know you're joking, but it's too late now. I've already went on the kiwi rant here. Problem with kiwis is you buy them, and like, I mean, this is the problem with like all fruit. When it tastes good, it tastes really good. But there's there's such a small window of time to eat it. You know, you're just sitting there like waiting for it to ripen up, and then the second it ripens up, it's just like a minute later, it's bad. It's like, damn it, dude. I missed this teeny tiny window where I was gonna eat this delicious fruit, packed full of nutrients too, man. If they could figure out a way, and I don't know who they is. I'm gonna get the scientists, I guess. If the scientists can figure out a way to make fruit have the shelf life of I don't know, goldfish crackers or something. Dude, I feel like the world will be such a better place. Everybody'd be healthy and all that, but fruit's annoying. Rank 5, but only got 3 tier 5 basics, so holding off for now, but ranked him up for Act 6 Mysterio. Okay, got it. AA, Sunspot, Iceman, or Emma for rank 4 Mutant Gem. Can awaken and get around 26 stones. It's tough, man. Let's see, you're thanking Tom. Let's see what Tom said. Let's put him under the spotlight here. Actually, I don't know if I could see. Where did Tom say? I can't find. Oh, wait. David, I'd say Sunspot or AA. Okay, let me see. It's tough. All 4 of those champions are decent. I'd probably agree with AA or Sunspot, though. I like Emma. She has a lot of utility. She's stacked in terms of utility, but I don't know. It just seems like she's kind of one of those jack of all trades, master of none type champions, and when content gets a little bit more specific, like it does later in the game, feels like you almost need something a little bit more specific and forget the all-around champions, unless they're just like stupidly strong, like Ghost, for example, or Colossus, another example of a very, very strong champion for many situations. But I don't know who I would go with. It's a tough one, but I probably would go with AA or Sunspot myself. It would depend on the rest of your champions and kind of what's missing from your just missing from your roster at the moment. Sunspot is probably the best kind of just all around if you just need a general purpose champion. But again, that goes into the whole, the later you get in this game, the less reliance you have on general purpose champions, and AA has that something a little bit more specific to you know, with his ability to take away abilities, essentially to shut abilities down. Sometimes you need that. So yeah, man, it's a tough one. I don't know where you're currently at in the game, or like I said, the other champions that you have. Honestly, any of those 4 can be helpful. It's just a little bit difficult to figure out based on that info. I know it might not be the answer you're looking for, but I hope it helps somewhat, at least for when you're deciding who to go with. Whoever called bananas weak doesn't know that eating 400 bananas is a fatal dose and will kill you. This guy knows, man. Bananas are deadly if they want to be. They usually don't want to be. They're a friendly fruit, you know what I mean? I was using Magneto in the arena just now and threw my L1 and lost more damage from recoil than I dealt. Sounds about right. I'm at school. I walk 4 miles like once a week for kiwis. Oh man, I would go on that walk. I would totally go on that walk. Isn't that what dried fruits are, BG? It's not the same. Dried fruits, they give me diarrhea. I didn't want to take it there, but you know what? Let's just take it there. Not all of them. Alright? The ones that don't have any, like, preservatives and stuff. You know, if it's like raisins or something like that. First off, I mean, I like raisins and everything, but it's not the same as eating like a fresh delicious grape or something. But what's it called? One of my favorite dried fruits I can't eat anymore. I think I don't remember what the ingredient is. It's like sulfuric acid or something like that. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But apricots. I was trying to think of the I forgot the name of it for a second. Hold on. Which I don't even think I've had a fresh apricot, but the dried ones. So the ones that look like this, that are like bright orange and stuff like that, they look delicious. They taste delicious. I love these things, man. Diarrhea. It's just waiting to happen. Then they have ones that are like more brown colored like this. And I don't think those ones have that ingredient. And no diarrhea, but they don't taste nearly as good. So I just stopped eating them altogether. God, I miss these though. Sometimes I would eat it just knowing it would happen, you know what I mean? Didn't stop me from eating other foods. Wow, fruit tangent. Amazing. Yeah, dude. Still going. The Shed, send it over buck. Saying, BG, guess who's got an MCOC account tour video on his channel? Ooh, also, I was working on the Killmonger guide, but the game wouldn't let me get to a champ in a quest, so it's on pause for now. Understandable, dude. That's awesome, though, man. Got the first video uploaded. How's your setup and all that? I'm gonna have to check it out when I'm not streaming, of course, but that's cool, man. EZ also sent it over buck. EZ, thank you, dude. Saying I'm only here for the diarrhea tangents. Well, you came at the right time then. So, yeah. Oh man. Douglas, send it over 5 pounds. Douglas, thank you very much. Saying, hey BG, the big D name is encroaching on the D. Can you move it a little right? Sorry, it's my OCD. I've tried it. I can here. Let me show you what happens. Maybe you think it looks better, and that's certainly fair. Let me hold on. Alright, take away this one, put this one in there. Okay. Oh, it's locked, that's right. Like, if everybody thinks it's better, then, you know, I'll change it, because, like I said the other day, you know, you guys got to look at it too and stuff. But, I don't know, man, something about it, I kind of like the overlapping. Here, we'll go through a fight. I don't know, I kind of like the overlapping, personally, but put it up for a vote. You guys, it's a little bit down too, actually. I gotta raise it up just a tiny bit. It's not perfectly centered on that, which is very finicky, man. This whole... Why is it not moving now? What the F? Why can't I move it? What the? Oh, never mind. I see why. Whoops. Okay. Maybe like that. Dragon sent it over 2 as well, saying best tangent yet, 10 out of 10, horrifying and perfect. I'm glad you liked it, Dragon. Douglas sent over another 5, saying, yeah, that's better, thanks. Okay. Let's put it to a vote. BG's the automated D mean the wall is forever gone? Sad times. It does mean the wall is gone. Because here, this is the manual D that I have. The automatic one. It's like this, and it even updates, it does the conversions too, so it's more accurate than the other way too for, what's it called? For international currencies and all that. But yeah, man, I know some people really like the wall, but I found myself not being able to read as many comments as I would like, and trying to find some ways to be able to read more comments and answer more questions and things like that, and just kind of give a better overall experience. Something had to go. All right, I'm going to make a straw poll real quick. All right. Which big D do you prefer? Name overlapping the D or not overlapping the D? Hold on a second. How do you spell overlapping? Why does it look weird? Whatever, it doesn't matter. If it's a typo, if it's a spelling error, it doesn't really matter. You guys understand. You don't have to vote yet. I can what's it called? I can show you. We can flip back and forth between it. Here, before I even link it in the chat, here's the 2 options. Whoops. Okay, yeah. Not overlapping. Overlapping. Don't pay any attention to the amount, because, yeah, that'll be fixed. But anyway, here's the straw polls in the chat. You guys go ahead and vote. Make an option to have BG decide to do what to do with the D. I mean, yeah, that is an option too. To just say, let me decide, but Chris Barlow said at 05 saying, hey BG, does the automate Chris, I just read that comment. Oh jeez. Dude. Yeah, I also have a different system to make sure that I'll still miss occasionally, but I do have another system in place now where, like, I actually have to check off that I read the message, and I didn't check it off, and that's why I read that one a second time. Because I really don't want to do that ever again. Even though I'm sure it's bound to happen, this will at least be greatly reduced. Okay, the Shed sent it over another buck, though, saying, I did have, like, first half of the guide and tried to slap the video had into DaVinci, but the software wouldn't recognize the video or something. That way I could start the video. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the issue is if it wasn't recognizing the video. Could have been the type of file that you recorded with. I don't know. There is a way to change that in OBS. Or you could always run it through something like Handbrake, which is a free software. All right, let's see what the results are. I mean, I'm gonna vote for the overlap because I liked it, but let's see. Wow, so about as even as it gets, huh? My actual 1 vote. Oh no. Oh, this is for not overlapping. Oh, okay. So my 1 vote didn't matter. Yeah, I thought it was the 1 overvote was mine. That's what I mean. BG, remove the word big. The large D speaks for itself. I thought about that, but I kind of like it. I did try that though, but I like it. Oh jeez. Whoops. And now it's literally 50-50. Okay, so most people probably just don't even care. But here we are anyway. Okay. Well. Hang on. What the? Oh. Finicky OBS. We're gonna leave it like that for tonight. I'll think about it later. Okay. I'll reconsider things later. Pete, what's up, dude? Well, last, please. What's your last, Pete? What's up, BG? Sold a rank 3 Dormammu boss today. Pete, Enzo actually told me about that, man. I heard about that. He told us all, actually, man. At the start of the stream. Congrats, dude. A rank 3 Dormammu. Good lord. It's gotta be a beefy Dorm to take down. Who'd you use? Huzzah! Sending over one of them Australian bucks. Thank you, dude. Same BG. I bought a new pair of shoes from a drug dealer. I'm not sure what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all day. Wow. Boo. Terrible. Boo. Take a lap. Dude, and for some reason my camera is still messed up too. I don't know if I just started noticing this the one time that it seemed to have messed up in the past. It's like making me more orange than normal. Hold on. Giving it a second. Trying to restore order. Okay, now it made me super pale. Perfect. That's what I wanted. Okay. I'll have to figure all that out too. A more permanent solution aside from resetting the color like that. Anyway. Alright, Mal, be lurking. Alright, Pixie. What about switching the big D to the bottom? Tried that. Doesn't look good. Cutoffs to the top, although that would be weird. Yeah, no. That ain't happening. The big D, it's staying up there. I tried moving it. So, a buddy of mine doesn't play this game, but occasionally he'll tune into the stream. And he said, like, you know, he doesn't really know the characters. So he's like, yeah, I'm sure everyone else knows the character that you're playing with, but because the big D covers up the names, he can't even see, like, who I'm playing with. And I was like, oh, you know, I never thought about that, but it's a good reason, it's a good argument to have for, like, not covering up the champion's name and maybe trying to put it somewhere else. I tried a whole bunch of different locations. Doesn't look good. That's like that. It has to be that spot. Other things, cutoffs. You know, maybe we can move those around. The spot where the super chat message comes up. All these things are like maneuverable, but the big D, it's got to be up there. It just looked hideous elsewhere. Something about it, man. I wish I should have just saved some of these examples. Pancho Sanchez? No, actually someone else, Pete. Douglas, I don't know, 5 pounds. Saying anyway, enough of that. Bought a featured 5-star from Citro Store. Got a... Oh, A-bomb. Oh, geez, dude. I thought that was born. Because the text is so teeny tiny for me. And the M looked like an R and an N. I was like, got a born? Who's that? But got A-bomb. Okay. Nice, man. I think that's pretty cool. I know some people aren't happy with it. I don't know how you feel about it, but the exclusive champions, dude, I think those are some of the coolest to get. Can't get them anywhere else. I feel like that's the biggest reason to go for a featured, you know? Maybe not the biggest, but one of the reasons at least. So yeah, man, congrats. Dingus also sending over to Dingus, thank you, saying, Beaver, how are you? No way, better luck next time. Oh, what? Oh, man. Anyways, I see you have a newly shaved big D, and the D stands for delicious or dingus. I can't figure it out. Oh, donuts. Also, happy birthday. The year goes so quick. Another B-day? Can you believe it? Yay! I can't believe it, man. You're right. The years do go way too quick. It's crazy how fast it goes. Way too fast. Dingus, thank you very much for your nice message. Especially the better luck next time part. Thank you very much. A-bomb is awesome. Glad to add to collection. Yeah, dude, that's exactly how I'd feel. That's really cool, man. Also, Brian, I soloed Dorm with Ghost. What kind of question is that? I figured, Pete, but I just wasn't sure. I know you haven't been using Ghost as much lately. Tell the people the big D is between your legs. Wow. Crap, what was I gonna say too? Totally forgot. Oh yeah. So one of the few things that I don't like about the big D though, because for the most part I like it, man. I think it looks nice. For some reason, I took a look at the playback just to see if the quality was fine, and it's not as good. Like on my end. Oh, the D looks slick, man. Like the little shading that it has in it and stuff like that. It looks beautiful. But with all like the streaming and being locked to a certain level of quality, and then the compression that happens with YouTube and stuff like that, it actually, I don't know, man. It's like a little fuzzy. It's not as crisp as I'd like it to be and everything. So that's kind of annoying. For some reason, the cutoffs, they looked good, though. It's just the D. I don't know if there's anything I could do to change that, but it's weird. Anyway, speaking of A-bomb, what do you think about Kabam changing the synergies on Red Guardian? So now the 4-star also has the A-bomb synergy. Super excited to see that. Dragon, I'll be honest, I didn't even know that the A-bomb synergy was or was not on the 4-star. I don't think I'm going to be using that synergy regardless, which is a shame. You know, well, first off, I don't have a high-level A-bomb, so of course I wouldn't. But even if I did, I feel like, how can I realistically invest resources into A-bomb? Which I think is one of the problems with the game, just overall. So, the synergy itself is pretty cool, but it's so hard to make use of it. That even if they, change it from being on a 5-star exclusive synergy to the 4-star, I don't think it really changes anything for me. Here's one thing I really want to see that people don't really mention much. It gets brought up every once in a while, but I feel like this would be a huge thing to see. If they just, revamped the synergies. Maybe revamp is too strong of a word, but just look through all the champions and just start adding connections here and there. You know, when some of these champions were made, other champions in the game didn't exist, and sure, they had the opportunity to add it to like the new champions and stuff, but if they could just go back and make a bunch of additional connections, I would love to see that.
Man loves beans.
Just going through and maybe monthly, just adding maybe 5 extra synergies. Each month, or more. I mean, of course, more I would love, but at the same time, of course, it takes time to do that, so you got to be realistic, right? But if they could do that, like, just spruce things up a little bit, add some new synergies here and there, I think that'd be really cool. Dingus 2 said to go over $1, saying, "Hello, Papa." Dingus 2, thank you very much. I'm not your father though, so who is this? Who is Dingus 2? We've got Dingus original and Dingus 2. Not even Dingus 1 and Dingus 2, just the first Dingus and Dingus 2. The same person or someone different? I don't know. More excited to see the behavior, removing some of the rarity level locks, so now it's not only 5-star, so people on much lower level can use it. Not for you, but for others. Possibly. Possibly. I guess I never really minded having certain synergies locked to higher star levels. So it... I could definitely see how it'd be an exciting change if that's something that like personally bothered you, because we all have our own personal issues with the game and all that, but that was never really one of them for me. I remember, I think it was Royal that brought it up the one day, where I think he was saying he's not really a fan of having synergies locked to higher star levels, or something along those lines. I don't know. Or was just kind of asking my opinion on it, but I really didn't mind. Like, even, you know, I didn't have, this is like going back way before, what's it called? Way before any of the Act 6 stuff. I remember when they introduced Massacre, and they had like certain star levels got the synergy for Winter Soldier, but it was only like 2% attack, and then I think you needed the 5-star version to have the full 5% attack for each hit in the combo for Winter Soldier. And I always thought that was fine, but I know a lot of people really didn't like that. I don't know, this might sound crazy, but like I actually want more of that, because I feel like if you have all the, you know, like, I guess one of my big problems with just going to the next star level is there's not enough not enough different between the champions. Like, it just feels like, okay, so we're just adding a star level and slightly increasing attack and health. And yeah, there's adrenaline, and that's a big deal. But I'd rather see that get played up way more than it is right now, so that it's like, oh, dude, okay. This champion has a 5-star, okay, not so useful, but as a 6-star, oh man. Can you believe it? There's this crazy new synergy, or I don't know, some other effect that once you combine all these things, it really takes off. Like, I don't know. To me, I find that stuff to be cool. So. But like I said, I could certainly see how somebody would think total opposite and feel like they're being locked out and have to spend to get this stuff, or never realistically get to play with it until it's too late and things like that. I could totally see that side of it too. Minigame, special 3 and adrenaline, yeah, for the 5-star, the minigame, and then the 6-star, the adrenaline. I mean, I was talking about things like keeping like when I made that the item suggestion or gear suggestion or whatever you want to call it, I was talking about keeping that stuff to only 5 stars. That was before they introduced 6 stars. I didn't know they were gonna make 6 stars that fast, but I was trying to say like, okay, like that's the type of difference that I'm talking about, like something big. But again, I know not everybody wants that, so. Want to hear a paper joke? Never mind, it's terrible. Oh, yeah, the joke you said before. Oh, oh, Tom said I was gonna blame you for that, and now I need to blame you twice. BG loving the streams. I had a question for you. Rank up 5-star Black Widow Clairvoyant or Warlock? My only real control champ right now is Magic, and I'm looking for another. They're both great. I only have experience with Claire, and I can tell you that Claire is pretty special. I think she's really powerful, super versatile. I ended up using her a bunch in Act 6, and if I had her from the start of Act 6, I would have used her even more. I would have used her a ton. Warlock is also a great champion. I don't have him as a high level, but I've seen some videos and you know, even just testing him out at a low level, you could tell Warlock's a beast of a champion. I don't know which one's gonna be better for you. When it comes to questing content, I tend to favor. I was gonna say I tend to favor the stronger healing, which I think Claire has over Warlock. But then again, like I said, I don't have the experience, so I actually don't know how strong Warlock's healing is. I know he has some, but normally I think that's what, off his special 3 only or something like that. Yeah, I don't know, man. They're both amazing champions, and honestly, you want to get them both ranked up. As for which one first, maybe a little too hard for me to make that call. Might have to look and see which, like, look at the holes in your roster. Maybe maybe you already have a bunch of strong tech champions or something like that. So where you could benefit more from another mystic, but I don't know. Both great. Wait, Dingus Jr. just sent over to saying, don't ignore your family tree, Dingus. Here's something for you. Singing in the shower is all fun and games until you get shampoo in your mouth. Then it becomes a soap opera. Laugh, Dingus, laugh. Dingus Jr. Boo. Boo. God, this is an annoying fight right here. Both champions just evading left and right. Boo, Dingus Jr. Thank you for the 2, but boo. Now go do your homework. Douglas sent it over 5 more pounds saying, just want to say I love your streams. Don't catch them live often, but always watch on replay when I can't watch live. Keep it up. Douglas, thank you very much, man. Appreciate the kind words and the support as always, man. You've always done more than enough to support me and the channel and all that, so yeah, thank you very much, dude. It's definitely appreciated. Yo, 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 Banana Nation. Brian's new setup is looking dope. Promo code #Banana20. Yeah, dude. Omar, what do you think, man? I know you said it's looking dope, but compared to the other one, what are your thoughts? Because I know you liked the other setup that I was tinkering with a long time ago and never ended up using. Is it as good to you? GG, loving the streams recently. Epic Assassin, thanks man. Saying, wonder if I should rank 5 Torch Unawakened or wait for Hulkbuster buff to go live before I choose my next rank 5. I need power control badly. I think Torch is a more important champion to have over Hulkbuster for like end game type situations. Here's what I would say though, if I don't know how your variant progress is looking. I think that's Hulkbuster's best use, is that he can handle variant 2 and variant 3. You know, you might still need some other champions for certain fights and things like that, but he's really powerful for variant 2 and variant 3. So I see Hulkbuster as like a gap bridger type champion, where if you are in, let's say, Act 5 right now, and you're starting to plan towards finishing Act 5 and start dipping your toes into the variants, then Hulkbuster is amazing for that. Otherwise, yeah, when it gets to like Act 6 and beyond, I mean, of course, it's a little bit hard to tell just based off the beta that we had, but I would think that Torch would be more important to have in your roster. So that depends a little bit on where you're currently at in the game. I'd say that's probably the most important factor to that decision. Tom, sent out 5 of them New Zealand bucks. Tom, thank you, dude. Saying, what is made of brass and sounds like Tom Jones? Trombones. And that, my dude, is the perfect BG joke. P.S. Happy birthday. Trying to find a way to fit trombone into the joke. I think this is the perfect BG joke. But, number 1, it's too mature of a joke. And number 2, boo. And number 3, it's not even my birthday. But thank you very much for the 5. But boo. New setup has a much cleaner look, not to mention the conversion rate idea was smart. The big D is my favorite color, red, so I'm all for it. Oh, Jay, glad you like it again. I think it looks really nice and clean, possibly better than the other. Maybe slightly larger character portraits, or maybe a strong border around them. Not a square, more like a contour. I thought about stuff like that. It's kind of hard to figure out a way to maybe make it more clear. Believe it or not, the heads on this screen are actually larger than the heads on the mock-up that I did previously. These heads are it's 70 pixels each. Well, the whole profile picture, like the default profile pictures, they're 256 by 256, and I shrunk these down to 70 by 70. And I had to overlap them just so that they can, like, the text can fit nicely in there, while the text would also fit in certain other places. Like, if you notice, the bar at the bottom of the screen, the text just barely fits in there, you know? And it also fits if we go into a fight. Hold on, free crystal? Hold the phone, I need that. Is there another one? No, okay. It also fits, if we go into a fight, it fits like right under the power bubble thing too. It's slightly overlapping the bottom curvature of it or whatever, but it's good enough, right? So yeah, it was kind of tough size-wise. But believe it or not, it actually is larger. I think the other ones, I can't remember if they were 50 by 50 or 60 by 60, but either way, I know these ones are a little bit bigger. But yeah, that was one of my concerns, is that they weren't clear enough, and to try to figure out a way to, hey, make them more clear. But then I realized too, like, you know, cutoffs, it's not something that people stare at. Cutoffs is kind of there just as a little reference, so I think it's okay for it to not be as clear, is what, is the conclusion I came to, at least. Of course, always room for improvements, but just explaining the decision making. Tom's... wait. Oh, no, I already read that one. I didn't check it off, man. This is the problem now. Yuki said door 5 of the Polish bucks. Yuki, thank you, man. And Brian, if you add a little bar at the bottom, you could put Big D and cutoffs there. It could be a moving thingy. You hate that idea, yeah? I wouldn't want to say hate. Like I was saying this morning, I'm always open to ideas. I just shoot down most of them. So, don't feel bad when I shoot this one down, because I'm shooting it down. But yeah, I like to keep... I don't really want a lot of movement going on, because I feel like it takes away from the gameplay, which should be, in my opinion, the primary focus, is the gameplay. Or covering up, like, or taking away from, like, my face, because inevitably I'm gonna make a stupid face, and I don't want it to get accidentally covered up by something else. If I'm getting wrecked or something like that, it's just not something in my control. It's gonna happen, so. But yeah, I don't like a ton of movement. I wouldn't be totally opposed to maybe a tiny bit, but it has to be like very controlled. Something that is constantly moving or rotating or something like that, nah, not really what I'm looking for. Trombone jokes and diarrhea tangents are my jam, yeah. What is the update? To the Big D, mean you don't have to do math anymore? Yeah, Star. Oh, so it all adds up. Yeah, I know some people like to see me struggle with adding up and keeping track of all that stuff. But that's kind of the thing that I was talking about. It was like, okay, how can I answer more questions? How can I make it so that people aren't feeling so much like they're being ignored, typing the same question over and over again, when I'm just sitting here like trying to calculate numbers and keep track of that stuff mentally, because there's nothing that manually does it unless I fully automate it, kind of thing. So yeah. Whoops. Could put the cutoffs in the center between the special bars even. I could, but I like to keep that section open for the message that pops up when people send over super chat. It's the best place I found for it, at least. I'm not totally set. That is something else that I would like to change eventually, but it's probably going to stay the same for a while. Is how it looks when those messages pop up. It just feels like there's room for improvement for that kind of thing, I guess. I don't know. I know Hector did some cool things, and there's like a bunch of examples online of just like even templates that you could just take and stuff like that, but I don't know how to, I don't know, sometimes the problem is like I don't know how I want something to look until I really start thinking about it, kind of tinkering with it myself. Because of all the things I've seen, it's like, I don't know if this is exactly my style. Either way, Douglas sent over another pound. Douglas, Thank you very much. Say it makes me chuckle. You stop and say, "Oh wait, free crystal, dude." The free crystals—they're important, man. They're super important. Thank you for another pound, though, dude. BGE recently took a trip to an island and went on a hike. We came across a food fight. It was super scary because they were cannibals. Ah, Cody. I thought you were actually being serious for a second. Boo. Not you too, Cody. Not like this, man. Boo. And so, as my channel gets bigger, it is more difficult to keep up with chat. Do you remember when you could not keep up? And how do you deal with the guilt? Oh, good question, Enzo. I don't know, man. I don't know how to answer that one, actually. So, I think that guilt is always there, man. On some level. I think a lot of people understand that you're not able to read every message. But I still feel that guilt of like, dang, dude, someone's in here asking a question. Especially a question that I could probably help them with, but there's only so much time, you know? Like, that's part of the problem. Actually, that's one of the reasons why I started streaming, Enzo. It's because every night I would come home from work. You know, I would try to like upload a video before going to work, but at the time I was maybe only uploading like once a week or something like that, which isn't too different from today, I guess. But anyway, then I would come home from work and it'd be like 1 a.m. and I would sit there and I would go through every single new comment on every single one of my videos. I wouldn't, check the videos manually, but on YouTube in the dashboard, it's just a list of comments, and then it tells you which video is attached to, so you have like a point of reference. And I would go through each and every one of them, and I would reply no matter what. Even the people that just hated my channel and stuff like that, I would at least just be like, all right, well, thanks for checking out, at least something like that. And eventually, I just couldn't keep up with that, man. I was staying up till way too late, which I always stay up late anyway, but just couldn't keep up with it. So instead of doing that, that's why I started just streaming a couple of hours each night, and kind of the channel kind of changed as a result. But yeah, man, I don't know if there's a way to. I think it's just up to people to kind of understand that it's just not possible for one person no matter what. Which is why I'm especially thankful to the other people in here that also answer questions, and hopefully other, people take that advice, because it's often very good advice. Sometimes I'll disagree with what other people are saying, but hey, sometimes people are right and I'm wrong too, so it kind of goes both ways, Okay, Rudiel Seguenza, I don't know, I probably messed up your name, I'm so sorry if I did. But thank you so much for the 5 with the the keep it up dancing pair. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Also, I'm stressing about something else, so I'm gonna try to get some sleep so I don't stress as much. Yes, that is vague type, folks. All right, Star, have a good one. I think here's something kind of interesting, Enzo. About the whole streaming thing. I think the MCOC community is used to, for the most part, having streams as a place to go and like ask questions and get help and stuff like that. If you look at other games, if you go to like Twitch, it's the same way on YouTube too, but you could see it easily on Twitch. And a lot of the games there's no asking for help. Like, if somebody's playing like a first-person shooter, for example, dude, they're just focused on playing the game, which is how it is when like going through difficult content and streaming that and stuff. But it's kind of one of the things that I think makes MCOC unique is it really is more of like that feel of, okay, we're all just hanging out and playing and chatting. Whereas the average game, it's like, no, you're watching somebody play a game and that's the majority of it, kind of thing. Which is why I didn't think I would like streaming, because I didn't think I would enjoy doing that. But the way it is in MCOC, I don't know, man. It's something I really like about the feel to it all, being very different. BG, good evening. Abdo, what's up, dude? Everything looks pretty good, I must say, but I feel like you need something in the top right corner. It looks as naked as I assume your lower body is right now. Yes, my lower body is pretty naked. I got boxers on, but that's it. Top right corner is tough, man. Because top right corner has units up there. I feel like on this screen it'd be fine to maybe put something up there if I had, if I needed to. But I don't want to cover the units, man. It's too important. Like, whenever talking about an offer or trying to decide what to do next, content-wise, how many, it's just too important to see that stat, how many units you have, because it plays an important role in the decision. Where it's like, okay, I'm covering up the bottom left corner and the top left corner. These are like menu buttons for, Something weird about hundreds of people staring at you and not communicating with them. Yeah, man, it is kind of weird. It's kind of weird. And at the same time, I love watching other streams. I usually lurk, so I don't really care when I'm watching a stream if that's how it is. If they're just playing a game and that's it, like, that's fine with me. But I don't know if I'd want to really be the person doing the streaming in that type of context. Like, I don't know, man. It's a little weird. It is a little weird. I think if you're doing something really cool, then maybe it's not as weird. Like, okay, let's say you're playing in a tournament where, like, yeah, that's the focus, is like you need to be laser focused on this because you're trying to compete and you're trying to win, and it's really appealing having like that inside look at that process a little bit, kind of thing. But I don't know, otherwise it's a little strange to me. So I always appreciate about your streams, even though I'm typically a lurker, and when I do message chances are small, you can see it. It always feels very close knit. Matthew, thank you, man. Yeah, that's how I always want it too, man. Maybe you could do a contest champion logo that surrounds the units, but still looks cool when you're fighting. Nah, if it's just a logo, though, I don't want it. It needs to be something that actually has a positive impact on the stream. The cutoffs are there because people want some sort of score to shoot for, even though they should be going higher. And also, if it wasn't there, then there'd be a lot more messages in the chat about the cutoffs. And that also prevents seeing other things that are more important, you know. And then the big D, I mean, that's just my way of saying thank you. These people deserve a shout out, you know. So yeah, I don't know what else would be needed to add. I definitely have like nothing against. This is also important to say. I have nothing against how anyone wants to set up their stream, you know, but it's just like anything else. This is the way I like it. Just like in music or something like that, you know, just a different style. I don't know. Probably doesn't need explaining, but yeah. Hello, BG, to stop by to say that I like the new graphics. Also, thanks for making my work day easy with your stream. Alex, thank you, man. Glad you like it and all that. BG, always enjoy watching your streams while running monthly event. Question, who would you rank 5 first? 5-star Human Torch Sig 80, rank 4, or Colossus unawakened but have Awakening Gem? I think Colossus is the better overall champion compared to Torch. They're both great. Eventually you want to get them both ranked up. But if I could only have one of those champions at rank 5, it'd be Colossus. He can just cover so many situations in this game while having crazy damage output, while having crazy tankiness and survivability to him. Yeah, if I could only have one, it would generally be Colossus. But it also depends on the rest of your champions, the content you're looking to fight, you know. So definitely look at that stuff before making the decision too. PG, Thing just destroyed Can't Stop, Won't Stop path. I was worried for that path, but Thing killed it. Nice, man. Yeah, he's definitely one of the best champs for it. That's for sure. What if you put tangent counter in the front of the units and pointing at them? That way the number of units is the number of tangents. Wow. Could do that. You know what I could do? I could mess with people. I just realized I could keep the units up there permanently. I could just like make it, you know, a picture in Photoshop, and that way as you like transition into the fight, it still shows the units. You know? Or here's what I could do. I could make it maybe so that the number doesn't show up next to the units. That would actually be really tough to do. I don't know if I could do something like that, because I would have to change it based off the background scene too. But just to get rid of the little notification thing. But either way, if I showed the units like on this screen too, people would be like, what? Why does your game look like that? I don't think it fits right in that top corner though, so maybe it wouldn't. Maybe that wouldn't work. Speaking of cutoff, I'm going for 4-star Red Guardian. How much? No cutoff in description. Oh, Douglas. I hope you are trolling. I'm always afraid people aren't trolling when they ask these questions, but the bottom left corner, my friend. The middle number on Red Guardian there. Thank you, BG. Truly appreciate your help. I've ranked 5 Blade Iceman hype, and now Ghost not duped, and was trying to figure out next rank 5. Only cleared 6.1 and no variants. Yeah, I would say you could benefit a lot from having a Colossus. The Iceman and Colossus, they do cover some similar grounds, but yeah. I would go with Colossus. Can we just have a permanent egg over BG? No, that's terrible. Is that really what you want? Should I put this to a vote? Should I always be the egg? Want to play a game? I bet I can pick a team of your bottom rank 2 5-stars that won't get a death match. Okay, sure. Don't screw me here, Coat. Did you do a whole bunch of testing for this? Well, here's the bottom ones, because I already used like the real bottom ones, so it's possible that these might just be safe anyway, but let me know. You can benefit a lot from having a Colossus? What? Yeah, the person who was talking about Colossus or Torch? They asked which would be better, Torch or Colossus, and then they said there's champions, and I said, yeah, you'd benefit from having a Colossus. All are safe. Couldn't make a losing team from that. Pick any 3 unawakened. Okay. Let's try it out. Let's put it to the test. Ooh, we're safe. Is there a trick to it, Code, or is it just that you've really tested it or something? Like, did you look at the... Is it prestige based? Did you look at prestige on Aunt May, or... Curious how you know. Oh, sorry, didn't see it. My bad. Okay, yeah, no worries, Douglas. It is new, so... That's why I said I couldn't tell if you were joking or not, because it's brand new and it is tiny. But I thought you might have seen it since you saw the change to the D and stuff. But yeah, if the number's too small, you could always ask that in chat too. Just if it's, you know, I understand. Sometimes I tried to make it so that it was visible even on phones and stuff, but if that ever happens, as somebody who doesn't have very good eyesight, even with the use of these spectacles, I would totally understand. Have you considered using a green screen for your background? Considered it, yes. I don't really like green screens for the most part. I think it fits okay in some games, some situations. But, I don't know, man. I feel like, even though there's nothing truly important behind me, what you see behind me, I mean... The poster you can hardly see anyway because my head covers it half the time. There's an exercise bike over here, some electronic drums back there. There's a shelf behind me. These aren't things that need to be seen. Yet, I feel like just by, like, I don't know, because those things exist, tells you a little bit about the person. And it doesn't seem like, oh, I'm just a character in this game. I don't know, man. It's hard to put into words. But green screens, I've never really been a big fan of them. But there's some features that are coming to, I think, just NVIDIA graphics card owners kind of thing. Something that NVIDIA was working on. And also, well, what was I going to say? Sorry, let me back it up. So yeah, there's some features coming that I think NVIDIA is working on that would mean that you wouldn't have to have a green screen all the time, but you could do some pretty cool green screen type of effects with it. And there's not too many videos out there on that, but I did come across a few that was like, okay, I could make some use of this. Where you just kind of have to wait and see. I don't know how far out they are from doing like having that software in a usable state, but some cool things in the future could happen. I also just bought a green screen. It was for another reason. I had no intentions of like switching over to using a green screen, but yeah. Okay, wait. From my observation, it's legacy champions from the bottom of the unawakened prestige list. If you pair 2, you lose. So I think the rule would be don't pair legacy champions. Okay. Interesting. That's not too hard of a rule to follow. By legacy champions, though, do you have, like, a certain cutoff, like, by year, or... do you not have it that dialed in, and you just know that it's, like, older champions? Eli, send it over to Eli. Thank you, dude. Saying BG plays MCOC and rides the bike in his mind. Yeah, I do. I'm getting tons of exercise as we speak. I'm doing great. Eli, thank you for the 2, man. Yeah, I don't know. It is. I've always found it interesting, at least, where it's almost like a little bit of a window into the person rather than the person being in the game, kind of thing. So I always liked not having a green screen. It feels like. So I mean, I've been watching streams since before Twitch even existed. Technically, I even streamed. That's my claim to fame, man. I even streamed on the platform that was Twitch before it was Twitch. It used to just be called I think it was Justin TV. I only did it a couple times, but even back then, it feels like green screens were kind of a thing where it was like, oh man, shows that you have like good production quality or something. I don't know, whatever you want to say about it. It seemed like if you wanted to take your stream to the next level, you got a green screen. But I never liked him. From the start, I was always like, this doesn't look quite right. Something about it. More or less the first 15, I cannot fully test because many of those champions are already rank 3. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Well, that's still some really good info. Wait, what? Dang, didn't know that happened. Guess it really is a dead account now? What is a dead account? Just trying to scroll up and see. Found an old dead account of mine, so I'm using it to grind units for my main account to give myself good rewards on gifting. Ah, okay. Yeah, gifting. I didn't read all the comments and the replies that you guys were talking about, but yeah, it's possible gifting might not come back. It might come back, it might not. Tom sent it over $1. Tom, thank you for the $1, dude. Where are you at? Last one. You should get a green screen and a green t-shirt so you're just a floating head like Zordon from Power Rangers. I like that idea. So I haven't even used the green screen yet. I actually got the green screen for 2 reasons. One specific video that I wanted to make related to MCOC. And that's all I'll say about that for right now, because I'm still making that video. But it was like too expensive to justify it for the one video, you know? Because believe it or not, the one I got was actually like $150, man. And I sat there for the longest time thinking like, I can't do it. I just can't do it. That's a lot of money for one video, and then I'll never use it again. But then a buddy of mine came up with an idea unrelated to anything MCOC, unrelated to even video games, that he could use a green screen for, and it was like, okay, all right, you know what? I could justify it. This is an investment to making some other type of content that could be cool. So. Boy, I don't know if I said your name right. I think I've messed it up in the past too. But please take it easy on the caps. I'm gonna read your message, but please take it easy on the caps next time. But okay. You should move the predictions up slightly. Watching on full screen mode, they are barely visible. Sorry for the caps. Hoping you see the message. Yeah, I'll see the messages with caps or not. So in the future, please don't do that. I thought about raising them up. I know sometimes it can get cut off and stuff like that, but it just fits so much. It just fits like really well in that corner, and anywhere else I just couldn't find a way to make it look good. I tried some other layouts. I tried putting them all over the place, above my head, next to my head, higher up, just going vertical down the screen, stuff like that. I've tried a bunch of different ways, but unfortunately I think it's gonna have to stick like this. So sorry if you can't see it, but it's the way it has to be, I think. Not sure if it's different between the different arena pools. Doesn't apply to 4 stars. Haven't done any testing. Okay. Alright, got it. Background sets the mood. Reminds me of that time when it was my birthday and my ex dimmed the lights. Lit some candles. Ate some whipped cream. Can I read the rest of this? You know what? Family-friendly stream. Yeah, dude. It's getting a little close there, man. But yeah, Jay, actually, you're right, dude. It does. It just gives a different feel to it. Totally different feel. Last question. The Awakening Gem for Colossus I have no problem with, but no Sig Stones left because I've dropped them in Iceman. Still worth it? Ooh, Sigged up Iceman, huh? Well, it's too late to tell you this, but yeah, the Sigs definitely would have been more valuable in Colossus or other champions than Iceman. His Awaken ability, offensively at least, doesn't mean a whole lot. Defensively, it's nice, of course, but either way, I don't think Colossus needs a high Sig level. You could honestly play him unawakened even. He does benefit a fair bit from his Awaken ability, though, especially in the longer fights. In short fights, it doesn't matter as much, but in longer fights, it really does start to matter. But yeah, even if you can only get him to Sig level 1, it's nice. It's nice having the ability to convert armor ups into permanent ones, and to be able to gain armor ups if you do come across situations where you run into like bleeds. Like honestly, the top part of it is not as big of a deal. It matters sometimes, like if you're fighting the Caltrops node or something like that. But usually there's not. Let me just read it out so everyone knows what I'm talking about. Alright, so whenever one of Colossus' immunities protects him from an effect, he has a 25 to 52% chance to gain an armor up buff lasting 15 seconds. And then the second part of it is that Colossus has a chance to convert an expiring armor up buff into a permanent one. And for the second part here, it doesn't matter how you got that temporary armor up. You just have a chance to convert it into a permanent one. So the top part, though, normally if you're bringing Colossus to a fight where you need that immunity, it's like, okay, you bleed for the first 60 seconds of the fight. So you just have one chance to gain an armor up buff. Not a big deal, right? But then there are opportunities where, like Caltrops, for example, every time you're dashing back, you have a chance to armor up. Or if you're fighting Morningstar, where you're constantly getting hit with bleeds, things like that. So there are times where it matters, but for the most part, the big thing, I would say, is the second part here, just being able to convert the armor ups into permanent ones. And yeah, having an 18% chance to do that is certainly a million times better than having a 0% chance, right? So he doesn't need high Sig level, but of course the Sig levels are helpful. BG criticized this idea. They should add a system where you can make duels with friends and have fun rules, and you can choose champions and customize how many people you can bring. Love the stream, by the way. Thank you, Carlos. So I think that idea I think I like the direction that you're going in with it, but it may need a little bit of work. So, the way this game is set up, directly dueling somebody, like if it was an actual one-on-one, like real-time combat kind of thing, this game, it doesn't really support that too well. If you compare it to like a traditional fighting game where it is just a one-on-one fight, those systems, it's a lot more complex. The actual act of fighting, you know, the different combos that you can do, the different abilities. You know, this game is more streamlined, and the complexity to this game comes from the additional rules that are thrown onto the fight itself, with like the nodes and just the subtle differences between the champions and things like that. So it's also like if it was real-time combat, it's a very reactionary game where like you're often waiting for the opponent to dash at you so you can parry them or intercept them and things like that. So real-time fighting I don't think will ever work in this game. It'll just be more fun in other games. But if you can turn that duel idea into a mode where it is similar to how you duel champions, this is something you might already be saying, but I'm just, I just wanted to start from the ground up about your idea here. You might have already been saying, though, that you just want to duel friends the way that you can duel now, where it's like a computer-controlled AI version of your buddy's characters, right? If you can do that in a game mode where there's some clearly defined rules and some variations with different nodes and things like that, and you have other kind of systems in place to I don't know, just to kind of flesh out the idea that, yeah, you do want to fight your buddies, right? And you do want to have like that little bit of trash talk, maybe figure out whose champions are really stronger, who's really the better fighter, things like that. Yeah, I think that'd be great. So I don't know if your exact idea is fully there, but I definitely like the start of it, at least. You know? Thanks for all your help, BG. Just got uncollected title. Nice. I was mostly inspired and motivated by watching your streams every night, so thank you. Dude, awesome. Congrats, man. I think you're giving me way too much credit. You did all the hard work, but it is awesome, dude. Used duped Colossus the other day and stayed on 4 armor ups the whole match. None stuck when I got them. Yeah. That happens. That's why I say it doesn't really need to be awakened for shorter fights. In shorter fights, you don't always get them to stick anyway, so it's like, okay. Big deal if they can stick, you know? The difference is not that big. But in Act 6, like in 6.1, honestly, the fights usually aren't that long, but you do have some exceptions. The Crossbones fight, for example, that's going to be a long fight. Where you are probably going to get to 20, assuming you survive and don't get killed for some other reason. You will get to 20 permanent armor ups, and then even have some temporary ones stacked on top of that, you know? But as you get deeper into Act 6, oh, those permanent ones, they're pretty helpful. Me is... What is this? Air TS Bungus? Hunter, are you drunk again? You dripping on, or are you sipping on, I mean, Grandpa's cough medicine again? Oh, Abdo's saying what they look great in full screen on my 65-inch TV. Leave him there. You really gotta brag that you got a 65-inch TV, Abdo. I see. I see how it is. Not so subtle brag, you know. Shimoy said it over another 5. Saying I don't like caps either, but good intentions. I know they're good intentions, but you know. Thank you for the effort to answer everyone. It's not easy. Appreciate you, and you did okay on the name. Okay, all right, good. Thank you, man. I've definitely seen the name plenty of times. Maybe I don't know how many times I've said it out loud, but of course, seen the name plenty of times. On Twitter and all that too, you know. But yeah, dude, thank you very much for the 5. Definitely appreciate the support. My idea of PvP would be a 3v3 defender, choose 3 champs and place nodes on them, limited 2 or 3 nodes, and the attacker goes into fight without knowing the node during champ select. I think they have to know the nodes when selecting champions, but I think that is part of what would make it fun. So I like what you're saying, Apudas, but I think you have to know what you're going up against, and I don't think you should have unlimited amount of time to make the decision, though. I think that's part of it. Is like, okay, you have a minute to look at these nodes and decide which champions to bring. And that creates like this level of anxiety of like, oh man, I can only bring in certain champions. Do these champions covered? Are there better options? Let me think about it. And for sure, some people would not like that level of anxiety. But I think it's also reduced if it's a smaller scale mode where, okay, the match only lasts, you know, 10, 15 minutes. And if you don't bring the best options, okay, it's not that big of a deal. You're not letting down an entire alliance of people where you only get one chance every 48 hours to prove yourself. If you mess up, you bring the wrong champion, okay, so now you learn for next time. You know, if you come across a similar situation, you just bring a different set of champions next time. No big deal. No harm, no foul, you know? That's what I think is missing from something like Alliance Wars, where, dude, the level of pressure, because there's so many people and so long. Even if you're just staring at the map constantly trying to figure out the absolute best champions to bring, you're always going to make those mistakes. That's part of the game, is like, okay, making the mistake is part of the game. But it's not for a lot of people, maybe not for everybody, but for a lot of people, I think at least part of the reason why war is not as satisfying as other forms of PvP could be. So I got a question about war, maybe some can answer. Possibly. It's fighting a stealth suit Spider-Man, a Node 43 enhanced auto block and evade with a Venom. Does the node bypass Venom's ability to not be auto evaded by Spider-Man? Because I got a video of him auto evading my Venom. I don't think it should. Sounds like a bug to me, because I think Spider-Verse champions under no circumstances should evade when you're using Venom against them. That's my understanding, at least. I could be wrong, but that's my understanding of it. Is that there's no way to increase it because it should just be eliminated, period. It's my tweet. I'm artist. He. What? Did you send over a picture? What the heck is this? What if you made a face cam border as an egg? Oh my god. The egg face cam. I'll keep it under consideration. Only if I could also change the proportions of my face and make it so that my face is like stretched out in different ways to really give the egg vibe or something. I don't know. But yeah. Sounds like MODOK Labs a little bit for the PvP idea, if that's what your comment was about, at least. It has some similarities. It is seriously weird that the point of playing a game is mainly to have fun, yet I think the majority of us do this game mode where we don't really have fun at all, just thoughts for food. Thoughts for food. Now I'm hungry. Yeah, it's strange, man. It is strange. You know, there's different types of fun. Is something I realized too, Abdo, where like, dude, I've played plenty of games where like the thing I'm doing is not fun, but it leads to fun in the future, and somehow it makes it more fun. Like, just to put it in terms of like MCOC related things, like everybody wants to have all the champions, right? But there's plenty of games that exist where you just have all the champions, period. You have every single character right at the start. And you could just have your fun, right? Your quote fun with these champions and these characters. But for me, that fun is very short-lived. I have a little bit of fun. And then I put the game down, I never pick it back up again. But somehow, if you have to work for these champions, it's just way more satisfying to get to, like, not, it's like you earned the right to play with these champions or something like that. I don't know, man. I don't know how to put it fully into words, but it definitely makes the experience way more fun to me. Having to go through this process, and part of the process isn't always like fun. But that's kind of what I signed up for when I started playing this game. And sure, like, I think there's ways to make the not fun part of it more enjoyable, and even the fun parts, the parts that are supposed to be like the payoff part, I think there's plenty of room to make those parts more fun too. Like, I don't know, it is weird when you think about it though, on that kind of level. It's like fun reserves or a fun bank. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't even know how to describe it, but something like that, sure. BG currently doing 5-star featured arena after not doing it for a long time and realizing now more than ever that the 4-star basic is way better for battle chips. Yeah, the 4-star basic arena is amazing. 4-star basic is the king of the arenas, in my opinion. Just in terms of what you get, like, eventually you can graduate from it or something like that if you have, you know, some people have like 60 6-star champions or something. But for most people, man, including myself, the 4-star basic is amazing. Reward-wise, and you even get to, I feel like, play with more champions just because, of course, 4-star champions are easier to get and easier to take them up to their, like, peak power levels and things like that. $60? Sounds like the free-to-play scrub. Wow, how many 6-stars do you have, Dreamin'? Because I don't have anywhere near 60. I've got 30... I think I have like 33 or something. Which I'm pretty happy with, but... Maybe I have 34 now that I think about it, because I have one extra. I was looking at the video and I didn't have the Clintar buff active. That's the only thing that would make sense. Do you need that? I didn't see if there was other comments maybe explaining why the evade worked, but huh. I guess the Clintar buff. Is it possible to lose that? I thought it was a passive thing, but I guess it is an actual buff. Venom's Clintar mutation buff provides a bunch of attack and blah 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 blah. Spider-Verse heroes, all attacks ignore passive evade effects. Huh. I didn't even realize that was a thing that you could potentially lose. Very interesting. I have 66. You have 66 streaming? Jesus. That's crazy. I didn't realize that you had 66 of them. Wow. Such a big difference. I need to start only popping calf crystals or something. I don't know. There's no way to catch up, man. That's so crazy. The level of difference. All right. Anyway. Let's hop into the basic for a tiny bit here. Hi, Banana Man. In a pickle here. Who would you awaken? Ghost, Darkhawk, Star-Lord, Sparky, or Infinity Man? I would go with Ghost. Star-Lord, not as good as Ghost or Stark Spidey. He's kind of the old tech god. Infinity Man, I just... You know, he's fine and all, but he's not as good as Ghost or Stark Spidey either. All three of those champions can be played unawakened, but if you're gonna awaken one, you might as well go with the best. Darkhawk is interesting because Darkhawk, I feel like his awaken ability is kind of important to him. It's not 100% crucial to playing the champion, but it is pretty important. You definitely notice a big difference in power level between him being awakened and not. But I would still go with I'd go with Ghost. Like Stark Spidey can be played on awakened too, and yeah. And go Ghost. I hear you. It's just odd because Kabam plays the game too, so they know that war sucks as well. But it seems like it's too vital to the game to take away. It's hard to make fun again. I agree, Abdo. I completely agree. That's why I made that hour-long video saying, like, there's something about this. Even if you don't agree with the things I said in the video, it feels like there's something wrong with war. At the base level of it. It's not something that you can just be like, yeah, we're going to change the defensive tactics or something like that, and that'll make it better. Feels like something is deeply wrong with the mode. And again, I know some people love it as is, so but like, here's the way I guess I think about it. Even if there are some people that like war as is, if war is perfect for them, how many people fall into that camp? Like, would it even be enough people to sustain the game? If that's what MCOC was just war, like how many people would be playing that game? It feels like the majority of people that are playing war do so just because there's some rewards attached to it, and they can take those rewards and take it into the other parts of the game that keep them actually playing. And I hear from so many people that they just wish that war, not that they I mean, I could be biased here as I'm saying this stuff. I could be biased, and I could just be hearing from more people that don't like it, and that is often how it is, right? The vocal minority seems like the majority because they're the loudest, you know. So it is. I guess it is possible. I always got to think about that. That it's just that there's so many people, or there's enough people that really hate war that are kind of shouting it, when maybe there are a bunch that do like it. I don't know. But either way, man, for me personally at least, it's the only thing that I can truly say without knowing how every individual feels. For me, war is broken. It is a broken game mode at its core. BG, random thought, but what if the Hulkbuster buff is taking long because they're doing both Iron Man and him? Oh, Jay, I wouldn't get your hopes up on that one. I think regular Iron Man deserves justice after Endgame. Hope they surprise us. It'd be a nice surprise, but I would not get your hopes up, man. Would not get your hopes up. I'll say it, I despise war. I hear you, man. I've got 5-6 stars, so pretty much right there with everyone else. Just give me another weekend or so. Yeah, it sounds about right. BGA got 4-star. Vision Arcus. Is he good enough to get ranked up? I think so, yeah. I don't have a ton of experience with Arcus, but the little bit that I did play with him, I think he's a good champion. And honestly, I wish I had a higher level Arcus all ranked up and everything myself. The psychos like me and Taters and Bryn are few and far between. Yeah. I guess the other question is, too, like, if you like war now, would making changes that made more people like war, would that be a bad thing? Would you continue to like war? And of course, you can't answer that until you know what the changes would be. But that's just it too, is like for all the people that are like, ah, war sucks, change it, kabam. There's a good chance that all the people that like war as is, they would still like war, and it's just that it'd be more people to the party. You know what I mean? Because I like competitive modes. A lot of the games I play are PvP. It's one of the reasons why I like to play online games, even if I'm not always into the PvP side of things. I like having that option there. I like being able to turn to it and be like, okay, you know what? Right now I do feel like I'm in a little bit more of a competitive mood. Let me let's kick some ass, man. Let's take this to the streets. Let's do it up. Fight. But with war, it's just never pulled me in. The most it's ever pulled me in was like, oddly enough, the most it's ever pulled me in is when there was so many people cheating at war, and 4Loki wasn't piloting. And once the piloting kind of got squashed, it was like, okay, where you guys at now? Like, let's throw down, just because I want to see you guys suffer, that you're no longer piloting, and now the truth comes out that, oh, we are actually better than your alliance, kind of thing, you know? That kind of thing, I was all for it. When we beat MMX, and it was so satisfying, even though they had stronger champions because they had so many additional rank ups, probably boosting more, things like that, didn't matter. We were able to beat them, and it was really satisfying. But it was also a really bad time for the game too, because you had no way of telling like who was cheating and who was not, and who was still finding ways to get around whatever anti-cheat Kabam had and all that. So, but yeah, that was probably the most fun I had with war. It's good that you think like that with some skepticism and critical thinking skills, but in this case, the most obvious answer is most likely the correct one as well. War sucks at the moment. Probably, but personally, I love War. It's one of the main reasons I play, and one of the main reasons I still try to play in an alliance, even though it's a chore sometimes. On the other hand, AQ is boring, repetitive. You literally always do the same fights, and it's broken, at least map 5, with the opponents that don't play the game how it's actually played, / use specials. I think it's just people who say they want competitive modes, but actually don't when given that opportunity. Don't think you're lying or anything, BG. Now, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying. You bring up an interesting point when you mentioned Alliance Quest. So a lot of times the two get compared because, of course, they're two alliance-based game modes, right? And I think sometimes that is kind of like the default way of thinking of like, okay, which one do you like? Do you like Alliance Quest or do you like Alliance War? But the truth is, some people like both and some people like neither. And I don't like War. If I had to pick, I would say I prefer Alliance Quest to War. But truthfully, I think that both could use some serious love, man. They could really use some big changes to them. Because they're old. They're game modes that were created years ago, and they've done some things to keep them feeling a little bit fresh at times. But truthfully, they could both use some larger changes to them. And I think even though I don't necessarily mind Alliance Quest a ton right now, like, the amount of times you have to log in, that part does suck to me, but I don't necessarily mind fighting like the same fights and having the prestige game be, kind of what moves AQ along and stuff like that. And yeah, I have other little gripes here and there and stuff like that. But I kind of forgot where I was going with this, to be totally honest with you guys. But I guess at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is, you can make changes to Alliance Quest, and if I like it okay enough now, I would probably just like it more. So I think for the people that like Alliance War now, I think it's kind of easy, for me at least, to make that connection of, okay, you can find a way to improve Alliance War, and the people who like War would still like it, and it would just bring more people in and just make the game more popular overall and more fun for a larger number of players. So even if people do like War right now, hopefully they kind of keep an open mind on certain possible changes and things like that, The same way that people who don't necessarily mind AQ, I'm sure they would love to see some changes too. Anyway, kind of lost my train of thought halfway through that, man. Sometimes it's like that. You tangent enough and you'll get lost. BG, which do you think is the best Incursion crystal for 4-star? Man, the Incursion crystals are so roster dependent. I can take a quick look. I would say for 4 stars, though, actually, I'm just going to say this, because it might get tough to looking through all the crystals. But the best Incursion crystal for 4 stars, or let me backtrack that a little bit. Probably the biggest thing that can help you in your progression at the 4-star level is finding champions that have strong healing capabilities. So someone like Blade, who's just a strong champion overall and has a strong healing ability that can allow you to go through content without using as many resources. So another good option, X23 or regular Wolverine. Or I'm not sure if you're quite at the point where you've unlocked some of the powerful masteries like the Suicide Masteries, but there's certain champions that can heal when you have the Suicides active, like Omega Red, like Corvus. So yeah, champions like that are the ones I would look to first. And if you already have healing champions, you already kind of have that covered, then other utility champions like Void to reverse healing could be really helpful. So I'd probably follow an order like that. Also, healing champions, really useful for Alliance Quest, and the sooner you can, get to a point where you're going through your Alliance Quest path without using resources or using very little amounts of resources, then the better off you'll be, the faster you'll progress in this game. You're friends with Clown, right? Yeah, of course. Can you tell him to keep his ass in his BG? He has joined all BGs in the last 2 weeks. Has he? No way. Oh, man. I don't think he's in here right now, but I'd bust his balls a little bit about that. But, of course I'm friends with Clown. He's awesome. I can't remember if you remember meeting him at Comic-Con streaming. Because he wasn't in For Loki at the time. And I know, a lot of Comic-Con was hanging out with, like, the For Loki people and stuff, but it always helps to actually meet people. Like, of course, I wasn't in For Loki when, what's his name joined. But, it was cool meeting them at let me, now I forget his name. But it was cool meeting them at Comic-Con too. Or wait, let me see. Could just go to Frosty. There we go. I couldn't think of it. But yeah. I remember meeting him. Taylor's just mentioned, oh, this is Clown, but didn't know who he was. We play poker twice a week, though, so it's cool. There's like 7 or 8 of us. That is pretty cool, though, man, that you guys are playing poker like that. I would have never joined in, but I think it's really cool. All right, anyway. It reminds me of, like, other games where, I don't know, man, like, that's pretty much my best friends. All of my, well, I shouldn't say all of my best friends. But a bunch of my my closest friends, we all met playing games together, and we didn't know each other before playing the game or anything like that. But dude, that's one of my favorite parts about games, is just meeting people, and then you kind of carry those relationships through the rest of your life at times, I mean, I can't say if you're going to be playing poker with the same group of people 10 years from now, but literally people who I met in 2006, or I don't even know if you could say met them, because it was only online at the time. But then, first time we hung out was like, I don't know, man, 2012 or something like that, like many years after the fact, but literally still playing games with the same group of people. Moved on to other things in life outside of gaming with the same group too. Nearly 15 years later now. Been to their weddings, they've been to mine, kind of thing, Tim Reed sent it over 14 of them Canadian bucks, talking about what looks to be approximately 6 toonies and a couple of loonies. Tim, thank you very much. Saying, Brian, always here, get 90% of the live stream since the bike ride days. Keep it up, and the tangents are great, brother. Yes! Got somebody appreciating the tangents. Ah, warms my heart, man. You don't hear too much of that. You only hear the tangent complaints. But Tim, thank you, man. Very kind and generous of you, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. What is going on with Tom and Fitz? Oh, cloudy and cold day. I see, I see. Okay. Alright. Doesn't seem like it's anything too serious. You guys had me concerned, man, but it seems like you guys are just talking about the weather. Okay. Yusuf is going to open crystals for Red Guardian tomorrow. Think he gets them? I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. Maybe. Question is, do you think he's going to get him as a 6-star, I guess? Because the 5-star, I'm betting yes. BG, what if Kabam put an in-game system like 4Loki's power rating system for every alliance that could either be just alliance-based or made public if you wanted? Think people would be into it? I don't know, Abdo. I think so, though, yeah. So, I think, here's the thing about the power rating system. It's not an exact science. And that, I think, would probably be the biggest hurdle, is that not everyone would understand that. Because there's other games that have these seemingly arbitrary rating systems. Like, I mentioned I played a bit of Dota recently, and a lot's changed since I last played that game. And one of the changes is after the match, they score you. They give you this rating. I can't even remember all the names of the categories, but they're meaningless. It feels like nothing you do in game actually impacts them. It just feels like a joke. It feels like I don't know why that system's there, and yet I'm happy that it's there. I like to look at it and be like, oh, okay, cool. It seems like I did good or something. I don't know. So I would think it would only be a good thing for the game overall. Dude, I'm telling you, it makes me want to go back to 4Loki. Just seeing that system and seeing the cards that Taters makes and everything. Dude, I'm addicted to it, man. I need it in my life again. But it would certainly come with some downsides, some confusion, and you know, some people would hate seeing it. Even if it was an exact science, some people still would hate it. Your PR is bad. That's a kick. Yeah. KDR horrible boot. Don't know if that would be good. That's true too. That's true too. So yeah, that would certainly be a downside. It probably is best that it's just kept as an alliance thing. I think here's what I think would be good if it was easier to translate that to other alliances. Because there's plenty of other games too where they have these like player-made systems, and the one I'm thinking of off the top of my head is something they use in like MMO games, which I think this system started in EverQuest, which I never played EverQuest, but it's called DKP, which really stands for Dragon Kill Points, where you basically got ratings based off of just showing up to certain encounters as a group and putting in that effort. It was a way to kind of rate players, because like the loot in that game is so limited. So it's like, how do you determine who gets the loot? So they came up with this system, right? And it was kind of developed in a way that it was, other groups were able to implement that into their own playing. And if they could maybe do something like that with the power rating system, I'm not sure how easy or difficult it would be. I know Taters puts a lot of work into it. So. And then it would be up to the leaders if they wanted this type of system, and up to them on how to interpret it and things like that. The system in the DKP system that I was talking about, it's definitely not a perfect system either. And as time went on, players evolved, and it's often not even seen as like a viable system by today's standards. And they do other things to determine who gets what in many cases. But some people still use it and everything. But either way, I am gonna head out, guys. It's getting late, and I could run off of tangents for another 10 hours But I should. WTF? When am I color deaf? Wait, what is this? BG, you're just gonna not open an arena crystal? You trying to jip us? I did open it. Yeah, I think that's what people are saying, right? I did open one, I think. Yeah, okay. Ace Fusion says you already opened one. Okay, good. Starting to make me think I'm crazy, man. All right. Anyway, though, we can talk more about this tomorrow and all that. Night Hollywood, Dragon Dagger. Good night. Good night, everybody. Shout out to Douglas for being tonight's biggest D. Thank you very much, Douglas, if you're still in here. And thank you to everyone else. Appreciate the support as always, guys. I'll be back tomorrow, probably just normal time. And yeah. Good night, everybody. Good luck if you are a grindin'. Oh, you know what? I wanted to change it. I wanted to go to this screen, but I never did. Oh well. Dig the new layovers. Glad you like it, Zach. And everybody. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, though. Later, everybody.